Hey guys, I want to take this time to actually talk about the Lightning Pass Indian fight going on this summer in July. I know there's a lot of excitement. I know some of those posts have been viewed more than 12,000 times on Facebook, which is crazy. But there's a lot of questions out there and a lot of new people to this type of event. Of course, at the same time, there's a lot of others who actually have been there over the past couple decades as the old Buffalo Days Indian fights has been going on. In talking to the infamous Bad Hand, for those of you who know him, and talking with some other organizers, we didn't want to necessarily do another Buffalo Days Indian fight, which is why obviously you'll see a kind of a different title. It's not Buffalo Days Indian fight. In this case, it's Lightning Pass Indian fight. And so we want to kind of take this time to answer any questions, maybe give you an idea of what's going on, and kind of how this event is organized, because based on how it's organized is awesome, because it's very, I guess in a way, natural or unique in a way of how everyone's going to interact up there this summer. But at the same time, that doesn't necessarily mean, actually it does not mean, there's a big mainstream event organizer with lots of logistics. In fact, that's why this event is really cool and really exciting, and honestly one of the rare events out there that I would call a true tactical, because we have more than 50, arguably depending on how you look at it, between 50 to 75 square miles of open, unfenced country that we'll be able to ride in, we'll be able to camp in, we'll be able to do a lot of stuff in. So there's three, I guess the entire concept is this. Very similar to the Old West days, or if you want to call it the Indian Wars or whatever you want, the 1800s. There's just a variety of different people out there doing a variety of different things, and they interact with each other. That is the whole event. There is nothing planned. There is nothing scripted. Basically stated, there's no script. And what that allows is a very natural, and in my argument, a very authentic way of doing an event, because we'll have at least one, maybe two Indian villages out there. Whether they're peaceful or not, we don't know. There'll be a roaming band of warriors as well. There'll be a civilian group, and then of course there'll be the soldiers out there. And so how we're going to interact is naturally how they did in 150, 160, or 140 years ago, in the fact that each band of people will have their own agenda, their own plan. Some of them will be camped out, spiked out, or fixed in a position all week. Others, like the cavalry, and it sounds like the infantry as well, they'll have their agenda. We'll be looking for the warriors and looking for hostile natives and determining, if we run into them, trying to determine if they're hostile or not, and all that kind of stuff. But why this is awesome is because it's just 50 square miles to do whatever you want in. And so based on that type of event, there are very little logistics. Each group is responsible for their own logistics, and the fact, like the cavalry, the mounted cavalry that we're doing on campaign, we're in charge of our own as far as food and accoutrements and how we're going to get together, how we're going to get up there, how we're going to organize. That's on us as the cavalry to do our own thing. I know for us, we're going to actually issue out period rations, hardtack bacon, a few other things. And in formation and go on campaign and camp out of the saddle and live out of the saddle for the week. Infantry sounds like they're going to do something similar, but each group is responsible for their own food, their own logistics, their own way of meeting, getting up there and organizing, right? And which makes it nice that we don't know what everyone else is doing. Okay, we have basically, like I said, about 50 square miles to camp, to do whatever. We don't know where the warriors are going to be. We don't know where the village is going to be. We don't know where the civilians are going to be camping. We're going to just be going up there, especially as the cavalry. We're going to be going up there trying to just scout the area. And if we run into people, great. If we don't, no big deal. I know when we did this in 2016, it took us a good day and a half to 2 days of that week event to even run into anyone. We ran into some buffalo hunters first, asked if they had, seen any Indians, seen anything going on. They hadn't. They'd been up there for 3 days before us, just doing their thing, hunting buffalo or hunting some deer. And it wasn't until the next day later that we actually ran into the village. And so that's what's nice about this event. Those of you who aren't on the Facebook page, please, there are 3 Facebook pages that you need to be a part of. Well, at least two you need to be part of. Number one, the general page, which is Lightning Pass Indian Fight, and the court has the exclamation point at the end of it. That's the main page that everyone should be on, to where Michael Badhand or Rod Rich or myself or Corey Klein or Gene Jackson or whoever the organizers are will post information for all participants right there. Other than that, each subunit has a other Facebook page. I know the cavalry has their own Facebook page event. Corey Klein, in charge of the infantry, has his own Facebook event page. Gene Jackson has his own event page. And as far as the natives, so the warriors, Rod Rich is handling that. I don't believe they have their own Facebook page, or maybe they do, but it's secret. They're not telling us. But get a hold of either Badhand or Rod Rich. I know Rod Rich is actually handling that on the Indian side of things. So be sure to get a hold of him if you want to go on the Native American or Indian side of things. So definitely go subscribe to the main page, subscribe to whatever unit you're with, and then communicate. The biggest thing I know for us is the cavalry. We're going to meet in outside of Du Bois and get all, everyone concentrated there. We're going to brief, do a couple items there, go up as a convoy, park our trailers, and then of course go out and start campaigning basically there on that first day. There is some talk about having a get-together, a kind of a dinner early on in the week, whether it's Tuesday or Wednesday. Don't know exactly the details yet, but what's nice about this is it's very similar to the original time frame, to where like the Treaty of 1868, or in the 50s, the Treaty in the 50s, to where they, some guys missed out because they were late, some guys missed out because they had to leave early. That's what's awesome about this, is who's ever there, we'll get together and have a dinner early on that week. If people aren't up there yet, that's fine. Those of you who want to come and don't want to miss this, which guys, you definitely don't want to miss this event, that's okay. You can show up late, because it's no different than another group or another unit or another, again, convoy, if you will, or another group of civilians coming over the ridge and joining a group of people later on that week. It's very authentic, very true. And that's what's awesome about this, guys, is there's no script. I can't say that enough. There's no plan. People will interact completely naturally, which is completely authentic. I love it, right? So based on that, that's kind of the idea of things, and that's why there are no quote-unquote logistics. We are working with the Forest Service, as you've seen on the Facebook pages. Technically, if we have more than 75 people, then we don't have to have a permit, but we just want to make sure with the Forest Service. The problem is right now they're shut down because of government shutdown and all that good stuff. But chances are, worst case scenario, we'll still be fine because we're not going to have close to 75 people per group, and that's what it is. Each campsite, or each group of people, if you will, you guys need to view yourselves as an independent, unique, completely alone group that might interact with someone else that might arrive. I know for us as a cavalry, we're hoping to have 10, 15, 20. Ultimately, I'd be happy to have 10 that will be able to, campaign. But obviously, we're nowhere near 75. Infantry is going to be nowhere near 75. So, worst case scenario, guys, this thing is going to happen. No matter what, it's going to happen. Don't think it's not. The question is to what extent and who's going to show up. I mean, there's a lot of interest. 12,000 people have shown interest on this event. Obviously, if we end up having 50, that'll be good, because this is Wyoming. It's the middle of nowhere. Keep in mind too, last time I was up there, I snowmobile in the same valley that we're going to be doing this in. There's no cell coverage, nothing's out there. So plan accordingly. I know for us, it is what it is, and a couple years we had a guy break his arm, and we just drove down or it wasn't our group, another group, basically just. They broke an arm, they drove down to Du Bois and got taken care of there. It is what it is. It's Wyoming. You don't have any communication, so which actually adds to the realism, if you will. Other things to keep in mind, guys, is your food. Each group has different authenticity standards, so that's why it's important to talk to your unit, your group. Civilians, you have a static camp. You can do whatever you want. And that's what's nice about the civilian side of things is, if you want to have the inauthentic side of things of coolers and really good food, stuff like that, awesome, that sounds good. That's what's nice about this event, is it actually includes every aspect of reenacting. So we have On the totally, mainstream side, you can bring your coolers and stuff like that for a static camp for civilians. I know for the cavalry and for the infantry, we're going to try to do it complete, true to the word campaign style. We're going to issue out period rations. I know for the cavalry, dry cured bacon. We're going to have maybe some salt beef, some salt pork, maybe, but I doubt it. Of course, then your coffee, your sugar, and of course your hardtack. That's what we're going to have. We're going to be dipping out of the streams for water. We're going to be obviously with purification tablets and stuff like that. No big water buffaloes, no big containers of eyesores, kind of taking away from the environment. Guys, this is the most pristine land that you can get out there. It's pretty awesome. Other things, guys, if you have any other questions, please comment below. Ask us if you have any questions. We'll put you in the right direction if we don't know the answers themselves. But guys, this is not an event to miss. This is not, if you want to come late, that's fine. Get with who you're wanting to be with, whether it's infantry, cavalry, civilians, natives, whatever, and we'll figure out how to hook up with you. I know for the cavalry side of things, we're going to be roaming all around, but I do know that we'll be hooking up with a couple people around the Thursday, Friday side of things, pretty late in the week. But I know we have a time to hook up in a certain secret location. That way we're not going to be ambushed when you can figure out what time and place we'll be at. But we'll meet with him, we'll hook up with him, and then that guy who came 3 days, 4 days late will be able to ride with us on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So that's possible as well. Those of you who are photographers or videographers or documentarians that want to video or photograph this event, chances are this is not the event for you. We have no idea where we're going to be. Literally every night we're going to camp somewhere different, probably, and that's for everyone else. Now, civilians side of things, they'll be more static, more fixed, so you'll have that. But it depends. It depends on what you want to do. So it's not really conducive for public watching this. It's not really conducive for photographers trying to film anything, because you may go 4 days without anything happening, and all of a sudden, man, boom, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, everything hits the fan and it's crazy. But we don't know. So because of that, this is not open to the public. This is just for reenactors and our experience. And guys, that's what's awesome. You can get what you want out of it. One thing from a reenactor side of things, obviously, since I'm a trooper or a soldier, I focus more on that. But from those of you who want to, really into reenacting, there's the good parts of this event and the bad parts of this event are the following. The good parts, if you want a immersive experience as far as your field craft, right? So we call that field craft, whether it's how you sleep, how you live, just experiencing the hardships of life. You'll be able to experience that. I know on the cavalry side of things, on the infantry side of things, you'll be marching, you'll be tired. I know for us, we're going to be riding hard riding. This is not, I know for cavalry, this is not for our new recruits. In fact, we're kind of discouraging our new recruits from doing this one, because when we did this in 2015, let's just say our general mode of operation is to beat people into the ground and make them die. Literally. Not literally, but we lose generally about half of our column just because we ride so hard. For whatever reason, the sun takes it out of you, the altitude takes it out of you, the food that you're not used to takes it out of you, and by the third day you're done. So this is not for the faint of heart. For on the soldier side of things, civilians, man, you guys are awesome. I'm kind of jealous, honestly. If you take a look at our YouTube or our Facebook page for the 2016 event at Union Pass, you'll see that we ran into some civilians and kind of hijacked their chairs and cushy camp for a while. So I'm jealous of that, because you guys can live awesome. But you can live however you want. This event is whatever you want to make it. On the drawback, the only drawback that we're kind of worried about is the idea that this is a 10-year window, right? We're accepting gear, equipment, and clothing from 1866 all the way to 1876. That's a decade, a 10-year window. That is huge, and especially in that time of history, both on the civilian side of things and on the soldier side of things, the progression that was made was immense. The uniform tack equipment and weapons from the cavalry in 1866, 1865 is completely different than 76. And so for the diehards or authentics, it's going to be tough because we're going to have guys with cap and ball pistols, and we're going to have guys with Colt Army single actions, right? 45 long Colts versus cap and ball paper cartridges. So if you can, get over that, and the fact that some guys will be having trap doors on their carbine sling, and some guys will be having sharps. If you get over that aspect, this is going to be an awesome event, because we feel, even though the 11th Ohio, we're not necessarily an authentic reenacting organization. Obviously, we want people to be thinking that direction, head that direction. Us ourselves, we're not a complete unit that's we call authentics or anything like that. But I tell you what we lose in all the weird different types of gear that's going to be accepted for this event, we feel that we make up in the experience of this event. Again, like I said, dozens of square miles that you can ride in. You can get lost in this stuff. We can ride all week and rarely run into half the group that's out there. One thing that's nice is if you Google Earth the area, there's some major drainages where obviously people are going to be getting water and stuff like that. So people are going to be kind of funneled into certain areas of that area, certain areas of the area. You know what I mean? But it's what we lose in the gear and equipment, we make up in the experience. If you don't think that, if you want to kind of ask questions, there's some hardcore campaigners that we've had back east. If you guys are familiar with the 1st Maine Cavalry, they're kind of definitely the standard of authentic cavalry. And some of their group came out in 2016. Ask them; they'll let you know. Tom Craig is one of those guys, and he, obviously he'll say that the authenticity is, it's there's some uniforms that aren't. It's just kind of all over the place, but the experience you get is unparalleled. So, anyways, I've kind of gone on long enough, but we've been getting a lot of questions, a lot of confusion out there. I hope this helps as far as the organization, or honestly to explain away why there's not a whole lot of organization. Why? Because each individual group is in charge of their own self. Okay, if you want, there's a group out there, kind of a subgroup. They're not showing up till Thursday. And are they missing out? They'll miss out no different than you missing out. Just any other time in life. That's the difference. That's truly authentic, right? You guys in your own group can do whatever you want. Really, as far as the civilians are concerned, people can come and go and leave early, come late, as long as you communicate it. Or we have a couple trappers actually, or hunters, I should say, to make my period correct statement there. We have some hunters. One's going to come in early, a couple days early, and leave only a couple days into the event. We have another hunter that's going to come in a couple days late, and then actually it sounds like he's going to stay a couple days later than everyone else is going to take off past that Sunday. So guys, this is civilians. You can do whatever you want. Indians, you can do whatever you want. On the military side of things, obviously, since it is a military organization, the infantry and the cavalry, I'm working with Corey Klein. Corey Klein has worked with me. We obviously, from a timeline, storyline type of thing, we have to be on the same page and have the same agenda. We'll be working kind of independently, but we'll be having runners go back and forth and communicating that way. So on the soldier side of things, we'll definitely make it a very organized group, but everyone else, you can do whatever you want. And so, all those people are saying, well, I can't make it those three. Can I show up late? Can I show up early? Yes to all of those questions. That's what's nice about this event, because why? It is real life. So anyways, if you have any questions, let us know. Again, log on to ask to be on the Facebook page of the main event, which is Lightning Pass Indian Fight! And then of course also be on the group specific Facebook page that you want to be part of, whether it's infantry, cavalry, or the civilian side of things. Again, as far as organization, Rod Rich, also an Indian name is Comes Ready. He's in charge of kind of coordinating everything. Again, there's no overall mainstream coordinator, okay? That kind of defeats the entire purpose. But Rod Rich is kind of, you ask him questions, he'll get you the right spot. Gene Jackson is in charge of the civilians. There'll be a couple different groups of civilians out there. So, definitely, most of the time, they're all, it sounds like, and Gene, please correct me if I'm wrong, they're all going to be in that kind of fixed area. I think they have to still decide where they're going to meet and be and all that kind of stuff, but Gene will get with everyone on that. So civilians, definitely, communicate that way. Soldiers, again, please ask to be with the appropriate group that you want to be with on Facebook. That way you can get all the communication. I know on the cavalry side of things, because of what happened to us last time, so 2016, yes, I'm talking to you, Daniel Pfister, or the whole Pfister family, Alan. But since we got hijacked, thrown under the bus, we were told that we would be safe, and we got ambushed. So that was nice. Because of that, the cavalry is actually going to be pretty, I guess, secretive, if you will, and have a couple weapons, quote unquote, up our sleeves on how we're going to interact if we do engage. In cavalry, we do ask you to bring about 70 rounds of ammunition for your carbines. We may not use any of that. We don't know. All the Indians up there may be friendly. Some may be hostile. We don't know. Okay, but bring about 70 rounds of ammunition. And obviously your 20 or 40 in your cartridge box, the rest in your saddlebags like they should be, and your pistol. Obviously, we shouldn't need more than 3 or 4 boxes of pistol rounds. So was that 18, 24, right around there, of pistol rounds. And if we need to restock, then sorry, we may or may not restock. So we'll see. Yeah, anyways, guys, listen, we're looking forward to this. This is going to be fun. We're excited about this. If there's something that you want to do, but you're not really interested, like for instance, right, you want to be cavalry, but you don't want to be as crazy as a hardcore or whatever, or honestly, it's not even hardcore, it's crazy. What we're doing, living out of a saddle, eating hardtack all week. If you don't want to do that, then again, it sounds like there'll be a fixed static soldier or military camp as well that people will be working out of, so which is great because we'll need runners to go back and forth anyways. So for you cavalry types that think we're crazy or I'm stupid, that's fine. I totally get that. There's other avenues for you if you don't want to join the campaign column. So anyways, guys, there's enough spots, enough opportunity for everyone. Whatever type of reenactor you are, you'll be able to get it out of this one. There's some good leadership going on. There's some questionable leadership going on. Just kidding. Guys, this is going to be a fun time. If you haven't already, guys, we're going to gauge a lot of this stuff based on who's saying going on the Facebook group. So please don't shy away from clicking interested or tentative or no or going. Please click on those on your Facebook group or event page. That way we have a good idea who's going on. Right now, rental horses are available, but as far as who I'm talking to, he has, maybe 10 available, and 3, 4, 4-ish, depending on who, 2 for sures, 2 kind of for sures are already taken. That arguably that's half of the rental horses, at least from our group, that's already taken. The native side of things, they're in a different group, so they have more horses available on rent. But guys, definitely, once you commit, hit going, let us know what you need. Gear-wise, if you need gear, let us know. Us of the 11th Ohio, we have extra gear. We have a lot of extra gear. So just let us know what you need, and we'll try to find it. I mean, we don't want gear to be standing in the way of you enjoying one of the best experiences out there. This event hasn't happened, depending on how you look at it, arguably between 8, 6, 10-ish years. I think 2011, 2012 was the last formal one. So it's been a while. It has been a while. So please, we don't know if this is going to happen next year. It might, I hope. If we guys show up and make this an awesome showing, hopefully it'll happen next year. But guys, just in case, man, you got to get to this one. Find a way to get to this one. This is going to be awesome. So anyways, blab too long. Appreciate you paying attention. Have a great day. And until we see you in the field on Union Pass, ride hard.